I'm all in.
Oh, really? You do not have that 4.
What is up, poker people? My name's Joey. This is my poker vlog. We're gonna start things off here with King Queen from the small blind, a few limps, and then the button raises to 9. Pretty weak raise. Over 2 limps, you only make it 9. So I sense weakness. I go ahead and make it $25. Ends up folding around, and I take down the first pot of the night. The opponent said he had ace-9. Here, we're under the gun plus 1, and I raised to $10. My direct left calls, some sweet lady. Seat 7 calls and seat 1 calls. So we're 3 ways to a flop here. Let's try to bink a set. We do not bink a set, but we're the pre-flop raiser, so we should have all the strong hands here. I go ahead and stab just to see where I'm at, really. A 1/4 size pot bet. This man was staring at his cards and decides to call. 6 of hearts on the turn. I don't see this changing anything. If he doesn't have a jack, I'm still good here. So with $65 in the middle, I give him the right price to draw to his flush. I bet 27. He thinks for a little second and lets it go. Another pot taken down without showing. Alright, in this next hand we got ace queen in the big blind. Under the gun plus 1, raises to 10 over a limper. With the small blind calling, I decide to 3-bet. Small blind calling, he should have a weak hand. If the small blind didn't call, I would have probably just flatted this guy's raise. But this is what happened. They both end up calling, so we are 3 ways to a flop. King 5 deuce, 2 clubs. Completely whiff it, but like I said before, we're the pre-flop raiser. We should have all the strong kings here, so I go ahead and c-bet. $30 into 105. This is something that I like doing. A little bet just to see where I'm at, try to take it down here. And this time it ends up working, as they both end up releasing their cards. Under the gun plus 1 raiser, a friend of mine told me he had ace queen, so scoop for us. Alright, this is a whole different day. These are 2 different sessions. I'm in the straddle with ace 4. There's 2 callers, and I check my option. We're 3 ways to a flop, and it comes down 10-4 deuce. I hit a piece of it, I bet 10. The lady on the button calls. And the turn is beautiful. 4 of hearts, giving us 3 of a kind. I bet 20, and she quickly makes the call. I'm putting her either on a 10 or a flush draw. And when the last 4 in the deck comes out, I'm hoping she has the 10 now. So with 77 in the middle, I rip it.
I'm all in.
Oh, really? You do not have that 4. What do you got, baby?
She asked me what I have. I told her 135, almost double the pot. She ends up calling. She does, in fact, have that 10, and my read was right. She couldn't let it down. Personally, in spots like these, when I know they have a full house, I'd rather go for max value than a smaller bet. Just like this, I went double X the pot, still ended up getting the call, and that's what I like to see. $250 high hand held. In this next hand, I have ace king on the button. There's a few limps to me. I go ahead and make it $11. I'm not sure. I might have been able to go bigger, but with position, I don't mind a smaller sizing. Just to get a few players' weak ranges in, I'm cool with it. So 3 people call. We're 4 ways to a flop, and I hit top pair. Checks back around to me. I go ahead and bet $15 at it. I get 1 caller from the under the gun limper, and the cutoff to my right ends up making the call as well. And I know the guy on my right is a good player. He thinks very deep. He's good at poker, you know, he actually thinks about the game. So when he called, I figured he had an ace of some sort. So I go ahead and bet 35. I know this man will call just from playing with him a lot. He'll never believe, if he has an ace, he just doesn't believe you have one as well. So like I knew, he ends up making the call, and we are heads up to a river, which is a 4. I think this is a really good card because any ace he has is now chopping with ace jack, ace 10. Say if he had ace 8, ace 9, we're in a chop right now, 2 pair with a queen, right? So knowing this, I go ahead and bet big. I bet 100 into 160. He doesn't think for too long before making the call. I show ace king, and he does let us know that that 4 is the reason he made the call. And we could have checked back that river, but we went for max value on this hand, and luckily we didn't value own ourselves. It actually worked in our benefit. But stick around for this next one, you'll see me value own myself. I pick up 3, 4 of spades. There's a middle position raise to 10. I wanted to go for the 3-bet, but I end up just making the call since no one else called in between me and him. But I definitely think a 3-bet would have been better. 8, 5, 6. I check. Pre-flop raiser bets 20. Right here, I'm thinking of raising, but I don't know what my left is going to do, so I just make the call. And once he folds, it opens up for me to raise, especially when the 9 of spades hits. My range should be all over this board. And I did pick up a flush draw. So $74 out there. I want to make a big bet, try to get him off a hand. I go ahead and bet 50. He snap calls. I mean, this man couldn't have called any quicker. And we bank it. Let's go. We hit the 7 of spades on the river. We were bluffing, and I got there, so I'm feeling amazing. He doesn't have much left in his stack, about 120. So one option.
150. I call. Oh.
He snap calls, shows jack 10 of spades. So my $50 bet on the turn, he had the world basically. And I could have checked back, but I ended up value owning myself. Last hand for this video, ace jack of spades on the big blind. There's a few limps to me. I make it 15. And all 4 limpers make the call. So we're going 5 ways to a flop here. Got a nice pot building. And why not just hit top pair? So with $75 in the middle and 4 other people in this hand, I go for a bet of $35. Oh, excuse me. I go for a bet of 40. 1 limper folds. The next one makes the call. The lady on the button that we hit quads against makes the call as well. We hit an ace on the turn. This is beautiful. Now I have to think one of these people are drawing to the hearts. So with top 2 here, 195 in the middle, I do not want to give the right price for them to call. I go ahead and bet out 120. The man in seat 3 only has about $75 left, and he makes the call. And after he makes the call, I'll fast forward the video here because the lady on the button goes deep into the tank. She asked how much I had behind. I'm assuming that's a flush draw, right? Anyway, she ends up making the fold. So we are heads up to a river, $345 in this pot. Let's see what the river brings. It is the Queen of Clubs. I show, and he mugs.
Jack 7 of hearts.
The lady on the button said she had Jack 7 of hearts, so I priced her out, which is what I wanted to do. I liked it. I was in the game for 200, out of the game for 720, so I profited 520, including that high hand. If you feel like being a good person, go ahead and drop a like and subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you guys next week.